All right, today's a tough day. It's a tough day to record a coaching video because when I'm recording it, it's the day after one of the worst terrorist attacks in our country. Outside of 9/11, 50-some killed, 50-some injured in Orlando by what appears to be an act of terrorism and an act of hate. And so how do you record a coaching video? How do I coach you today? Because what's important is you're on the air today. So what would I tell you? Well, I would tell you, number one, show up. Show up for your listener. Be there because your listener is going through a million emotions right now. And the inputs on them are amazingly fast and very, very emotional. And this is your chance to help them navigate through it, a chance to serve your listener. I would also call today, and so to that point, don't be paralyzed. I would also call today a red meat day. Don't venture outside of what your audience expects from you on this day. Yes, comfort. Yes, find ways to help people navigate through it. But stay in your genre, if you will. And what I'm talking about is, for instance, if you're on a Christian format, contemporary Christian, or even Christian talk, today is not the day to take a political stand. Today is not the day to point fingers at this person and that person. Today is the day to talk about God. Today is the day to talk about Jesus Christ. If you're on a conservative format, today is not the day to open up the debate and say, well, maybe the liberal nation is right. And it doesn't really matter whether you think that or not. Today's not that day. And the reason is because they don't want you to have that conversation today. They need help getting through it. They need things to be stable. So your belief system going into this should be the same. Same with liberal. If you're on the liberal side, it should be all about gun control, I would think, and hate crimes. Yes, you need to stay there. You need to help people through it, but stay in your red meat. Because if you don't, they will not listen to you. They will go somewhere else. And yes, thought-provoking, maybe you did consider and change your mind. Maybe that's true. Today's not the day. Maybe 3 days from now. So stay in your red meat zone. If you're about reasoning, if that's your show, both sides of the story, then make sure you're giving both sides of the story. Be consistent, be stable, and be of service. Talk about emotional issues. Talk about family and friends. Talk about other clubs. I would even go further to make this that point where you are remembered for what you did on this day. It goes a long way. It helps people. So if you're on, say, for instance, a Christian format, yes, we talk about God's love. Yes, we talk about Jesus Christ and the saving grace of Jesus Christ. We talk about all that. But are there witnesses? Is there a witness or a testimony you can get through this tragedy? Same thing with conservative. If you're looking on that gun control and non-gun control side, can you find a reasonable argument on this day that supports your position? Liberal, same side. Can you find a reasonable, not unreasonable, but a reasonable argument? It's your red meat day, but find a way to make yourself memorable. It's not enough to say it was a terrible tragedy and boy, I'm mad. It's more than that. It's a terrible tragedy and I want to take care of you and I want to talk to you about this. All right, go and make good radio. Take care of your listener.